You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. During the summer months, sometimes we break out feigned indignation from sports talk show host over random summertime lists. Did I get that right? I think I got that right.
And now it's time for Feigned Indignance from Sports Talk Radio guy over random summertime sports lists.
I said indignation. Feigned indignance. Well, Pro Football Focus has put out its preseason ranking of the top 50 FBS quarterbacks. And you know how I feel about lists. I really don't care about lists. I'm not going to sit here and debate the merits of a list, of somebody's opinion. A lot of times it's just a jumping off point for a conversation. But what was interesting about this is that it's Pro Football Focus, which is not subjective, it's objective. They use their metrics, their data, to select the top 50 quarterbacks. And it is important to note that this has nothing to do with their pro potential. So this is not like a ranking based on your draft status or anything like that. But the really interesting caveat with LSU is that they didn't grade one quarterback. I'll explain what I mean in just a second. So number one on the list, very obviously, is Bryce Young from Alabama. Number two, Caleb Williams, who's now at Southern Cal. Interesting. How about Spencer Rattler at number three, who's left Oklahoma where he lost the starting job to Caleb Williams, who now both of their quarterbacks have transferred and are 2 and 3 on this list. But Spencer Rattler, 3. C.J. Stroud from Ohio State, 4. Sam Hartman, undersized guy, but could really sling it a little bit at Wake Forest a year ago. He's 5 on the list. Grayson McCall had the great year at Coastal Carolina last year. He's 6. Brennan Armstrong from UVA, 7. Dylan Gabriel, who was at Central Florida, who's now at OU. He's 8 on the list. Keaton Slovis, who transferred to Pitt, he's at 9. Tyler Van Dyke of Miami is 10. Taulia Tagovailoa from Maryland, to his brother, he's 11. Devin Leary from NC State is 12. Clayton Tune from Houston, who I cannot say I have ever seen play a game of football, he's 13. Malik Cunningham, who LSU fans certainly are familiar with him, he's 14 on the list. Aiden O'Connell at Purdue, 15. Will Rogers of Mississippi State, 16. Jaron Hall from BYU. Quinn Ewers from Texas. Will Levis from Kentucky is 19. Tanner Mordecai of SMU is 20. Jake Hayner from Fresno State, 21. And then you find Miles Brennan and Garrett Nussmeier and Jaden Daniels. They grouped the 3 of them together. What's strange about this is, quite literally, on this list of the top 50, they don't do that at any other school, for any of the other schools. And you could argue, well, it's because, Kentucky doesn't have a quarterback battle. Or Arkansas with KJ Jefferson doesn't have a quarterback battle. You know who the starter is. And I guess maybe that's true, but you could look at Auburn with Zach Calzada, who they have at 28. Calzada's not the definite starter there. He's going to have to go win that job. You want to look at other things that are kind of surprising. Stetson Bennett, y'all, won a national championship. He's 34th on this list. They have Stetson Bennett 12 spots behind the 3 LSU quarterbacks. So here's what's interesting. Anthony Richardson, by the way, from Florida is 30th on this list. Hendon Hooker was a big surprise to me as well. They had Hendon Hooker 1 spot behind the LSU guys at 23. I'll come back to that in a second. So ahead of LSU, they've got Bryce Young at Bama, Spencer Rattler at Southern Cal, Will Rogers from Mississippi State, Will Levis from Kentucky. So they got LSU's quarterback 5th on the list. But the strange thing is that I don't know what to make of it because they use the combination of the 3. So if you just took Miles Brennan, where's he? If you just took Garrett Nussmeier, where's he? If you just took Jaden Daniels, where is he? So part of me looks at this and goes, I don't know how much stock I put into this, but the collective quarterback room looks pretty good, but that's not what it's grading. It's grading the top 50 quarterbacks. I mean, Anthony Richardson at Florida's got to go win the job over Jack Miller, the Ohio State transfer. I mean, some of these aren't settled, which makes it really odd. So the fact that they have LSU 5th among SEC teams is encouraging, especially ahead of Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker last year threw for 2,900 yards. He didn't even start the whole season. Like, the fact that Hendon Hooker, who damn near threw for 3,000 yards last year, and again, didn't even play the whole season at Tennessee, the fact that he's not higher on the list really surprised me. KJ Jefferson's at 26. I mean, he's going to win a Heisman, right? KJ Jefferson's going to win a Heisman. This is 26 on it. He's 4 spots behind the LSU guys. And 2 spots ahead of Zach Calzada, who transferred to Auburn and may not even start. So Hooker, KJ Jefferson, Calzada, and Stetson Bennett are the SEC quarterbacks behind the LSU guys. And then you got a handful of quarterbacks aren't even on the list. Like, there's no Max Johnson on this list among the top 50 quarterbacks in the country, which is a little surprising considering, Connor Bazelak, who left Missouri, is now the quarterback at Indiana. He's number 47 on the list. So I guess he's got to go win the job, but there's no explanation as to why those 3 are there, as the sort of cluster at LSU. I mean, I get it. There isn't a named starter yet, but I feel like Brennan, Nussmeier, Daniels, if you took them individually, they would be at different spots on this list. I'd be fascinated to know where they would fall on this list. But I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. And this will be my one big contention for LSU. I've said that I feel LSU falls somewhere between 7-5 and 9-3, probably 8-4. I think their ceiling is 9-3. I think their floor is 7-5. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario, as I think, barring some total disaster, some unforeseen things we don't yet know. It's hard for me to imagine them being 6-6. I think they'll be above 500. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario where they get to 10 wins in the regular season. I think 9 is their ceiling, 7 is their floor, and I think they probably end up 8-4. But the big variable, the gigantic variable, is quarterback. It's what if. What if Jaden Daniels is your starter and pops off and throws for 30 touchdown passes? What if Brennan's your starter and does the same? Or what if Nussmeier wins the starting job and just has this meteoric rise? I mean, that's the one real unknown right now with LSU, is what you're going to get from the quarterback spot, because whoever it is that starts, you're going to be seeing something completely different from LSU offensively with that person. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.